How to stay in shape this Christmas. A lot of you might be bothered about it, some of you might not be. And whatever your approach, if you really can't be bothered, then don't let me tell you what to do. But if you do want to stay in shape this Christmas and you still want to be mindful about what you sort of eating on meals out, or perhaps you just want to be able to enjoy things to its absolute fullest, but not ruin the progress that you made in 2024, then this is the video for you. So, control what you can. What does this actually mean? Well, if we're going out and we've got absolutely zero control over the foods that we're going to be eating, the drinks that we're going to be eating, then do not stress. But Monday to Friday, if you're still working at work, you're still in your normal routine, then that is completely in your control. It's really important not to let things sort of get on top of you if you're going out for a meal and you don't really know what's going to be thrown at you. It's Christmas, we only get it once a year, and it's really important for you to go, right, I'm going to be straight back on it tomorrow. I'm not going to stress about tomorrow night or whenever it's going to be. I'm just going to control what I can control, and that is your usual day-to-day diet, that is your water intake, that's your steps, that's your training, etc. What I would do with your training is, let's just say you're going out on Saturday night, I would take Sunday as your rest day. We tend to see a little drop in performance after we've been out just because we're a little bit dehydrated, sleep hasn't been great, and perhaps you might be a little bit bloated from the drink or the food that you've eaten. So take the next day as rest day, but then after that, train as normal, eat as normal, etc. So how can we actually approach our sort of nutrition on the run up to going out? I'd calorie bank. That's what I'd do. So it doesn't need to be excessive, but also don't be scared to reduce your intake by 200 or 300. That is not gonna make you feel starving, or that's not gonna get you pissed quicker or whatever. I'd look to just reduce your calories by 200 or 300, either on the run up to it or on the meals before. So you can either do, I think it actually runs through it here. Here we go. So if you're dieting, what you could do is, let's just say you're going out on the Friday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you could reduce your calorie intake by 300 calories per day. Over 4 days, that's then 1,200 calories. That 1,200 calories then can be consumed on that Friday night. That then means that your 5-day average of calories, as long as you've not gone over that 1,200 calorie buffer that you've created for yourself, you're still actually on average still in a deficit. Does that make sense? So if you want to be super mindful, that's the way that I'd sort of do it. Reduce your calories by 200 or 300. Don't do too much. If you do too much, you're going to be starving, you're going to overeat, and you're just going to spiral into a whole load of other problems. So 200 or 300 on the days leading up to it. That then banks the calories, and that allows you to then eat just a little bit more. That's if you want to still stay in a deficit on average and you still want to continue losing weight. If you do it like this, you will still see progress. You will still see progress. Don't think that, because I'm out this weekend, the whole week's a write-off. If you do it like this, we'll still see a weekly average drop in body weight. Then if you're bulking, what we can do is you either reduce your calories down to maintenance and use that meal off on a weekend or a couple of meals off during the week as your sort of thing that's going to push you into a surplus. So then if you're eating, let's just say 1,200 calories more twice a week, that's 2,400 calories more in that week, which then brings your weekly average calories up by, quick maths, around 200 per day. So if you are actually consuming 2,000 calories a day, but then you're eating another 2,400 calories with meals off, it actually means on average you're eating about 2,200. Does that make sense? So you can always look to just bring yourself down to maintenance and then use those meals off to bring you up into a surplus. Equally, you can just stay in a surplus, should I say, and then just eat a little bit extra on your meals off and just have that as a bonus. you will begin to gain weight just a little bit quicker. So it depends what sort of rate of gain you're looking for. If you're looking to do a nice and steady bulk, maybe bring it down to maintenance, or perhaps use this calorie banking for the meals prior. So you could eat in a maintenance Monday to Friday, then on the Saturday, just look to bring your calories down per meal. So then you've banked, let's say, 300 carbohydrates for the last meal. Does that make sense? Then, I've actually ran you through it here, but if you were going to have brunch out, which I know a lot of people like to, go out for brunch and socialise like that, then I'd eat a meal prior, which is high in protein and some veg. That keeps you nice and satiated and stops you from overeating. But then, if your meal that you have is slightly higher in carbs and fats, then for the last 3 or 4 meals that you have after your brunch, look to have 30 to 40 grams of protein in each meal, just your usual protein intake. Have some veg, and then on your final couple of meals, so maybe on meal 4 and meal 5, or your last couple of meals, whatever it is, look to then increase your carbohydrates just a little bit. But your meals after brunch, because it tends to be a little bit higher carb, like waffles, pancakes, etc., then things will just even out. It's about just making sure that everything's evened out. If it's not, then we might see sort of an increase in scale weight when we don't want to, etc. Remember, I'm speaking to you as though you want to stay on track. I'm not speaking to you as you must stay on track, you must do this. This is me helping you if you want to continue making progress. If it's relatively clean, just look to reduce your carbs and fats from 1 or 2 meals, and then after that, just go back to normal food. So, keeps it really simple. If you're going out for dinner, aim to have high protein meals beforehand, reducing your carbs. That then allows you to bank some protein and some carbs and fats for the last meal, and then you can then spend those on that final meal and eat whatever you like. If you know that you're going out for something clean, then you could just look to take your carbs or your total calories down by 400 off 2 meals. That then gives you 800 for that final meal. So if we look at it in sort of numbers, if we have 400 calorie meals and we have 5 of them, that's 2,000 calories. If we just bring 200 calories off each meal, that then means that we've banked 800 calories for that final meal. So that final meal could be 1,200. Does that make sense? And it's just about keeping things nice and balanced. So what should we not do? Well, don't be doing more cardio to try and burn off the food. And secondly, don't be under eating. Don't eat like a rabbit. That is the worst thing you could do. If you do, you'll find yourself overeating at the dinner table, binging on the treats that you got in the cupboard, etc. Don't do that. Just stick to your normal foods. Keep nice and satiated with protein and veg. And then just enjoy yourself. That's one of the main things this Christmas. Make sure to enjoy every single minute. Enjoy the mince pies, enjoy the beer, enjoy the wine. Do what you want to do and just get straight back on track right after. I should have had one. Let me have a look. What should we do the day after? The morning after. I must have missed that one accidentally. So apologies for that. So what should we do the morning after? Firstly, hydrate. If we've been out for a few beers, we're going to be so dehydrated. So get some water, some electrolytes. As soon as I get in from a night out, I have a pint of water, some electrolytes, and then the next day, I wake up, have a pint of water, some more electrolytes. And then the next day, I don't have a fry up or whatever. Just get straight back on track. There's no point letting that one night off turn into the whole weekend off. Just keep it into that set sort of time that you've allocated to have off, and then you go from there. So if you need anything else, like the last one says, please do just let me know. This is my website here. Got a question box there as well if you want to ask me any questions, and please do just feel free to ping me over any struggles that you have, and take care.